we got Speed Racer up there, I guess. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I'm driving a 2000 Ford Contour SVT. Up front is a 2.5 liter V6, and down below is a 5-speed manual gearbox. Alright, now this will be the first time I ever get really on this thing. Colin, don't worry, it's fully warmed up. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. So let's talk about that 2.5 liter V6. Well, that's part of the SVT package. You know what? Before we get any further, let me explain to you what SVT is. Alright, so this is directly from performance.ford.com, and this is their SVT page. So directly what it says. The Ford Special Vehicle Team, SVT, was conceived in 1991 when Ford senior manager recognized the corporate advantages of investigating niche vehicle market opportunities. The idea was to assemble talented driving enthusiasts at Ford and some of its key suppliers in a small, cross-functional group of engineers, product planners, and marketing professionals with a common mission: create vehicles to satisfy the unique desires of the knowledgeable driving enthusiast. Basically, they wanted to make cars that were kind of weird to really hit a small group of people that would want them. These cars weren't really mass produced. I mean, not on any level of, you know, the Ford Taurus. The SVTs weren't huge, but I guess there was a demographic there, so props to you, Ford. And this engine, it's peppy. A V6 in such a small car, plus paired to a 5-speed, which I'm really starting to like. I'm not a huge fan of the big kind of bulky shift knob. It feels kind of, I don't know, flimsy. But this thing packs a good amount of power. And this thing's all NA. It's not turbocharged, it's not supercharged. They basically just threw a bigger engine into a Contour. Let me walk you through the list of parts or modifications that have been done to this particular Contour. Alright, so this car has T-ports and factory tune, true Benz catback, Borla muffler, MSDS headers, CMP intake, factory forged internals, Yamaha heads, special design cams, extruded honed intake and exhaust, and SVT suspension. So that's a mix of what's been done and also what comes on the SVT. And you know what? I have to be honest, this thing does not sound bad at all. It is a V6 and it does grumble. But it's a lot of fun, man. You wouldn't expect it out of this car. You wouldn't expect a Ford Contour to be fun. But I'll get more into that in a little bit. Let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have white gauges that say SVT on them, which is pretty cool. It reminds you that you're driving something special, kind of like the Mazda Speed 3 I recently reviewed. Although the gauges are white-faced, it's very 2000s, very Fast and Furious, but they're very simple as it is. It's not very crowded. I'm looking at the tach, I'm looking at the speedometer, I have fuel, and I have coolant temp, or water temp, and that's it. That's all. It's very basic layout. It's not cluttered with 1,000 other different things like so many other cars are. The steering wheel is pretty bulky, and that's because back in 2000, the safety restrictions were getting harder and harder. You know, they're more restrictive on vehicles, so manufacturers had to keep up with that. They had to have an airbag. So unfortunately, because they had to conform to these restrictions, they had to make steering wheels bulkier to fit the actual airbags. Now technology is advanced, and steering wheels are actually starting to look good again. In the middle, I have two little itty-bitty air vents with a little pocket next to it, which has a bolt in it. It says Contour on the dash, in case you forgot what you're in. Very simple heating and air controls, and then an aftermarket radio. Down below, I have the shifter, which is nearly mounted on the floor. It's not on the floor, but it's not far from it. And then, of course, a handbrake, which I really thought this car would have a pedal, like foot parking brake. But no, it actually has a handle one. Other than that, the interior in here is super 90s Ford. It's very bubbly. It's a lot of plasticky material. The buttons are real clicky. I'm gonna see if you can hear this. Everything's really clicky. Everything's very plasticky. And that's, of course, not only for safety restrictions, but it was a lot lighter weight. Not that this car is trying to be lightweight, like carbon fiber everything, but just like, you know, Metal dashes are heavy. That's why they don't make cars out of solid steel anymore. It is a 4-seater. You can fit 3 homies in the whip. This was the smaller 4-door that Ford had. Ford had the Taurus, which was the bigger. That's actually what I grew up with. I had a 1995 Ford Taurus. That was our family vehicle for quite some time. I do have a sunroof, which is really nice. Up top, I have the button for the sunroof and then 2 little dome lights, but that's really it. To the left, I have my light controls and my power mirror controls. This car also has cruise control, which I'm actually kind of surprised at. So, let's talk about the looks. Not my favorite. If I'm honest, that's my biggest fault with this car, is that I really don't like the looks. It looks like, to me, kind of a smushed Ford Taurus with a body kit. But see, that's kind of the charm of the SVT Contour. Granted, the regular Contour isn't gonna show up anyone, but this is the SVT. This is a special vehicle team. This is custom. Well, not really, but it's so unassuming. Because this thing is quick. I mean, it's not record-breaking. It's not going to beat a big turbo Subaru. It's not what I'm saying. But for what it is, this thing is quick. This car kind of reminds me of, you ever like see a really hot girl in school, very attractive girl that all the guys want, and she ends up dating like a geek from chess club? This car gives me that same reaction of just, what? Why? Why is this car fast? Why did they put a V6 in it? Why did they make an SVT? Why did they make a performance trim Contour? I mean, yes, they made the SVT Cobra. Very understandable. It's a Mustang already. They made the SVT Lightning, which was a supercharged truck. Okay, I kind of get where they're going with that. A quick truck that's actually kind of useful. Okay. But this car kind of doesn't make sense if you really think about it. I mean, the Contour was replaced by the Fiesta. The Fiesta is a small, economical car, right? Right now, the new ones come with a 1.0 liter turbo, which gets like 43 miles to the gallon or something. So why take that platform? Why take the base economy small car platform and make a performance version? It really honestly doesn't make sense, but in the same respect, I'm really glad they did. Because this is a fun car. It's definitely unique. No doubt about that. Funny story, actually. When I was looking to buy my RX-7, I looked around at a lot of different cars. Infiniti G35s, BMW E46s, E36s, Honda Civics even. I looked at Subaru Legacies. And one day, an SVT Contour came across the screen. It was a 5-speed manual, so that's what got my attention. And I was really interested in it. It was only $2,000. These cars are not very expensive. And I was interested, and I texted the guy and asked him if it was still available. And unfortunately, it had sold. Maybe for better, maybe for worse. Maybe I would have created the series SVT Life. I mean, in a sense, this thing is really just a small Taurus SHO. I just remembered that the SHO was a Taurus that they made, and they've started making it again, but it's a Taurus that's wicked quick. The new one is a twin turbo V6. So I guess Ford has a history of making regular cars just kind of quick. For you Mazda fans out there, think of SVT like Mazda Speed. They had the Mazda Speed 3, Mazda Speed 6, Mazda Speed Miata. It's a different name, but it's in the same company. It's not like a standalone company. You can't go to like an SVT store. So I guess really my only fault with this thing is what makes this thing so good is its looks. It's so unassuming. And it just looks like another 90s Ford product, but it's not. It's not just another run-of-the-mill Contour. It's not just another bubbly Ford. This one's special. Special vehicle team. So what do you guys think? I'm honestly curious to see what you guys think about this car. Because I feel like this car is one way or the other. You either love that Ford made it, or think it was so stupid of them to put a V6 in a Contour. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to see what people think of this car. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope you guys learned something about the Ford Contour SVT. But again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
was a sight for my soul.